We have been through the various spices of life, the sour, sweet, bitter, spicy, and even numbing. I am a person shaped by life. No matter how crazy or poor, what circumstances I'm in, or whether I can survive or not, this is my life. I left home because my family was poor and life was hard, with too many brothers in a tiny little house. I remember when there was nothing left to eat, my mother walked 2 kilometers to buy dried corn to grind into flour for porridges so everyone might eat a little bit. I first came to Shanghai in 1998. I was so bad the day I arrived in Shanghai. I only had 300 yuan given to me by my mother. When I arrived, I called a friend who told me to catch a bus and meet him in a far suburb. I dared not spend money and walked. It was cold, raining, and I hadn't eaten. He helped me get work on construction site, carrying steel bars for 35 yuan a day. The hardest time I've experienced as a migrant worker was that time. I was so angry. I had worked on that construction site for half a year and did not receive any pay. And the boss ran away too. There are always many different bosses, and it's common for them to get away without paying. Right across from the construction site there was a wholesale vegetable market. I thought I'd try some small business, so I started selling vegetables while I was still working on site. The first day I bought some garlic. Slowly I got a hang of it, and later sold vegetables full-time. I'd wake up at 1 a.m. and go to Dong'an Road to sell vegetables until 7 a.m. when the black cats go to work. Black cats are those in charge of city and street management. They forbid you from selling on the street. When they come out, we would run home. Whatever vegetable we have left, we would cook it and eat it. After I ride my cart out to fix bicycles. If I see something on the ground like a used water thermos, I'd pick it up to sell at the garbage collection center. Yet I've even worked as a garbage collector. I thought people from my hometown are very far away and will not see me doing this. If other people see me, they don't know me, so I won't be ashamed. I usually sleep 1 hour at afternoon. At night, I go to sleep around 9:30 until 1 a.m. But sometimes even when the alarm goes off, I can't get up to sleep in until 3 or 4. If I sleep outside, I can wake up at 1 and I go and purchase wholesale vegetable. I worry about my children's education. Our hukou are Sichuanese. My kids go to school for migrant kids, not local Shanghainese school, which are not concerned with making sure your kids go to university. They just want to make money and provide a safe place to leave your kids when you are laboring away. We don't have any connections, so can't get our kids into local schools. If you don't know anyone important, then you can't get in. What can we do if it is not fair? Who can we blame but ourselves? We just don't have the ability. Actually, they shouldn't take any money from us for schooling. If education is supposed to be free, that's the way it should be. Shanghai is part of China. Other provinces are also part of China, so they should not charge us anything. In our hometown, it only cost 90 RMB for senior high. Now it is already 900. If we go to see a doctor in the hospital, we must pay full price. The local Shanghainese have health insurance. We cannot apply for it because we don't have a hukou. We're considered a vagrant population. We have no specific status and therefore cannot apply. Why did I come to Shanghai? Because Shanghai is a developing metropolis. Out of this whole country, Shanghai is a good place to make money. I must raise my 3 children and make my business work. Whatever money I make is for my family. They are all I have. This is also my bitterness. We are building a foundation unable to save anything yet. The future is all about our kids growing up, getting an education and making some money in the future. We need to save some money for our kids. We have not achieved the best scenario. My wife and me discussed this. We work so hard yet still live in such a shitty shack. We want to live in a Shanghai suite, a place with a living room that will be our pride and joy. Every day we work hard to make money, but life is slowly passing us by. We never had a chance to enjoy life.
上海之前，你对在上海啊，你对上海和在上海打工有没有什么
？Other people introduced us to each other. We used to be in the same work unit. We were introduced by my aunt. There's no free dating in the village. I only met him the day before we were married while arranging the furniture details. It's been over 15 years now. I thought if the marriage will be good, it will be good. If bad, then I'll still have to bear it. My aunt told me he was a good person, very honest, and he is, even now. After we married, he went back to Beijing and I stayed home farming and looking after the child. He came back in a year. He came back because he couldn't work there anymore. Plus, I was having a hard time taking care of the kid at home. Later, we had to borrow a few thousand to come to Shanghai. We left two older kids at home with my mother. Left them there for 3 years. Then when we had the youngest child, I went back to give birth at home. I stayed 40 days and brought all the kids back to Shanghai. After we brought them here, we brought food with us from home and fed them on this and that. And this is how we lived. It's like this in China. The price of recyclables has dropped, but housing doesn't drop, and food doesn't drop. If these things would drop, our lives would be like before, which was livable. If there's no income, only expenses, how will we live? At that time, we still had a bit of money. Not a lot, but enough to bring up 2 kids. We only want to raise the children. After they're older, we can make more money. Our relatives are also recyclers. Only my youngest sister and her husband have stable jobs. I don't think recycling prices can drop further. So for now, we just eat more frugally. Less meat, more vegetables. Other prices should drop too. If not, then recyclables have to go up a bit. We are not sure what is really going on. Our rent is 400 yuan a month. We rented this room early and have lived here for 6 years. It's hard to find these little houses now, and the rent is so high and keeps on rising. The room used to be 260 yuan and bigger, but the landlord divided it in half and now rents each space for 400. My hope for the kids is for them to have ability to get into university. Then it will be easy for them to find jobs. That's my only hope. I don't expect too much. Nowadays, university is so expensive. If my kids get good grades, they could try to get a scholarship. If one child goes, I can probably afford it. Today, a garbage scavenger came by dragging his stuff along. He asked me where can I sell this garbage. He was lame and full of dirt, so I told him to sell somewhere close by. But he said the close ones wouldn't take it. He wanted to take it to our collection station. I told him straight you'd be too tired to drag it that far. He was already covered in sweat. This is the way I am, blunt and straightforward. The poorer a person is, the more I respect and relate to them. There are also people I feel like I will never be on the same level with.
以前是小 我70年出生，24岁结婚的，然后结过婚就有了小孩，一直在带。
In 2005, my husband came to Shanghai to work. I had thoughts of coming out and working as a migrant worker. I wanted to find a better job in the city. Even though I always had the idea in mind, when it actually came to migrating, it was very difficult, as I had to leave my child. I felt so sad to leave, and when I got on the train, I had an ache in my heart. For a non-local child to attend school in Shanghai, you need 8 certificates. If you don't have them, you cannot go to school. There are so many different pieces of paperwork, such as temporary residence, single child, health insurance. The New Year's Eve was the happiest and also one of the saddest nights in Shanghai. We called home at around 12 midnight, and we found that the grandparents did not buy many fireworks for my daughter. She had finished lighting hers while her friends were still playing. She went home and said she felt sorry for herself since her parents weren't home. I felt so sad when I heard this. I felt terrible the whole night, like we weren't fit to be parents. Shanghai and city life is a lot different from what I imagined before coming. I thought Shanghai would be an easy place to find a job and make money, but that's not true. If you think the wage is low someplace or the work is too bad, if you don't take the job, someone else will do. It's very hard to find a good job. If you don't have any experience or education, you will only be stuck doing what we do. Even though this job is hard and tiring, at least they pay us by the end of every month. Our sole motivation is to make money so we can build a house back home. This is why I came here to Shanghai. When I'm done, I will go home and stay there. We both want to work hard in Shanghai, but our final destination will still be our hometown.